Sounds drive.
So we were things that we keep talking about that keep cropping up are people's strategies for selling, not necessarily their overarching sales strategy like Instagram, whatever, but at a show or wherever where this is how you treat people who are looking in your booth or talking to you about your art. Do you just jump on them? We all know we're supposed to ask for the sale. That is the number one thing that any sales thing will tell you, is ask for the sale. Personally, that doesn't resonate with me. I don't approach when people are seeing my work and I know they're interested in it, and I know they're interested enough that they're considering buying it, not just an interesting discussion, but they're considering buying it. I still will never be the person that follows those sales techniques of, okay, so would you like to buy this? Or what can I do to move this along? I just don't want to. The funny thing is, with all of those sales strategies, I sometimes wonder if, just like I say always when people have those books, how to make it, or those sales conferences or whatever, how to make $1 million. Well, the way to make $1 million is to sell a book or a conference called How to Make $1 Million. That's how you make $1 million, by getting people to buy that. It's not about, I'm not telling you how to sell something specific. So I just like to throw away all that stuff. I think the only thing for me that I've seen affect people when it comes to selling is people who truly are so shy that they can't speak with somebody, or they project an energy in their booth, like they're feeling miserable. And we all, yes, I get that that's part of life, but there are people that I've seen before at shows where I just look like, I walk by their booth and I think they look like they're just pissed off to be there and they don't want to be there. And that's, and maybe they're not, like, maybe that's just their way, or their aura. But so I have nothing to suggest about that. But I think if you're just somebody who wants to engage with people and talk, people know when you're being authentic. I think that's what they're buying. They're just buying that, oh, they had this great conversation. They decided they liked you and they like your art. Maybe they don't like you. There are some people who truly just will go in, even in the people's booths, who look like they're repelling people. They love their art. They're going to buy it if they love it that much. But I think there's very few people that are that focused, that it doesn't matter who's in the booth. But because
people are looking at a piece of art in their home, and they're not going to say, oh, I really love the painting, but I really dislike the artist. Because
I have one piece like that. Remember, I think we've talked about this before. I have a lot of art in my house, and there's one piece that every time I look at it, I think, I got to take that thing down. The woman drove me crazy. She really did. And I think that every time I look at it. Now, it didn't stop me from buying it. So you're right about that. It didn't stop me. And I never would have believed somebody who said, oh, people have to like you to, I never would have believed that, but I'm experiencing it now. Every time I see that piece, I just think, oh, that woman was just miserable. So yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, you need to take it down.
Yeah, I do.
It's bad karma, Suzanne.
It
but
is.
How about you, Chantel?
It's a combination, because if they don't see you and your art is in the gallery, or your art is on the website, or they're gonna buy it because they like it. But if you're there, it's true that they have. It's like a combination. They like the artist, and they like the artwork. And I think if they meet the artist, it's more foundation about loving the artwork even more, because now they know the artist, they know the créateur. But it's kind of I understand what you mean, and for myself, I just want to listen to people. I want to listen what they want to say, how they feel, what they see and how they feel about it, and then after one day they have said what they wanted to say, I tell them, do you want to hear a story about this painting, or just want to just feel the way you, and sometimes they say, well, I'm open about it, just tell me, you know. So now I'm, well, this painting I did it in this kind of minding, and they're like, oh yeah, I like it even more, but I have to make sure that they open about it, because sometimes they just like what they see with their own idea, own story, and I'm not the yeah, understand. When you said you have asked about the sale, you said that, Suzanne. What do you mean about ask about the sale?
Any sales book or whatever will tell you at the end, you always have to say, so would you like to buy it, or how would you like to pay, or whatever. Like you're really forcing the issue. Okay, we need to make this a sales transaction.
Okay.
And, yeah, I'm not.
I find it difficult because it's kind of, I'm the artist. I think maybe it was, if it was somebody else, it would be easier to do, but I'm more like my way of saying it is like, well, you're meant to be. You have to have it because you're meant to be. The way you talked about it, it's yours. She was waiting for you, this painting, because in French, peinture, it's feminine.
Maybe that's what these books are talking about. Maybe I've been taking them too literally over the years when they say that. Maybe just saying, oh, you have to have it, it's meant to be. Maybe that is their version of asking for the sale.
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know.
And they're not buying a refrigerator.
Yeah.
So it's relational. And when you were talking about telling the story of the piece, Chantal, it may also be that they look at it and they have their own story, that it reminds them of the time they walked through a certain forest, or remember that time when we were talking about something. So they have that relationship with the piece as well. So that can draw them in.
Yes.
Right?
And we're talking about artists that are more pushy and sometimes get in the way of other artists, how it makes us feel. And my idea about that was each artist is responsible for his booth. Don't come in front of mine. Just do what you have to do in your booth. And I'm going to be responsible of mine, and I'm not going to go into yours and do what you so, because sometimes it's false kindness. People sometimes, I think of an artist in particular that was, oh, this is Chantal Dessert, do you know her work? And he was playing the and it doesn't have to do that. The person, if she or he likes what I do, they're gonna come in their own way. They don't have to be forced, and you're responsible for it. You'll go with your art. But there's sometimes I think it's kind of it's not, I don't feel good about that. Just I just think that every artist has to be respectable of their own space.
We all do chat.
Soundstripe.